Hello everyone, I am B. Tripathi. I do welcome you on behalf of KBM classes. So in the previous class, we had discussed about the definition, meaning and historical background of English determiners or determinative. So we have to remember 2 points in order to identify English determiners. Let us begin. The first point is English determiners belong to a closed lexical category in English. And the second point is their position is at the beginning of a noun phrase before any modifiers. Look at the second point first. The position of English determiners, or it is known as determinative. Their position is at the beginning of a noun group or noun phrase and any modifiers. There are two types of principal modifiers in English grammar. Modifiers. Two types of principal modifiers. The first one is adjectives, adjectival phrases, adjectival clauses, which modify nouns. And the second one is adverbs, adverbial phrases, adverbial clauses, which modify verbs, adjectives, as well as the whole phrase and clause. So the position of English determiners or determinative is at the beginning of a noun phrase. You remember, noun phrase always functions like a noun. That means the functions of noun and noun phrase are the same. The functions of noun and noun phrase are the same. And an English sentence consists of two parts, subject and predicate. You all remember that noun phrase occurs in the predicate part of the sentence also. It may be or it can be. That means noun phrase can occur in the predicate part of the sentence also. It can be objects of verbs. It can be prepositions. It can be a complement also. Noun phrase can situate itself in the subject part. It can situate itself in the predicate part of an English sentence. And when a noun phrase occurs in the predicate part, it can be objects of verbs, it can be prepositions, or it can be a complement also. So the position of English determiners is at the beginning of a noun phrase and before any modifiers. Whether a one-word noun or a pronoun or a noun with another word used before it in the subject part of a sentence, it is called a noun phrase or noun group. And the last point is regarding noun phrase is whenever or wherever the noun phrase occurs, it may occur in the subject part of the sentence or it may occur in the predicate part of the sentence. It always contains a noun, and that noun is known as the head noun of the noun phrase. Let us analyze the first point. English determiners belong to a closed lexical category in English. Closed lexical category. So, closed lexical category is normally functional category. Functional category contains function words. So, what is function words? Function words means closed lexical category is functional category in English grammar, and functional category contains function words. For example, function words are articles a and the, pronouns he and she, conjunctions and but, and subordinating conjunctions. Thus, well, if, etc. So, articles, pronouns, conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions are known as function words. So, closed lexical category contains articles, pronouns, conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions, as all these words are function words in English grammar. And the function words in English grammar perform essential grammatical functions. These words perform most essential grammatical functions. For example, generally we cannot write an English sentence without the, because the is the definite article. The refers to specific, about which the listener and the speaker both know. Normally seen as part of the core language and is not expected to change. So, the words which come under the domain of a closed lexical category in English grammar, those might or might not be inflected or might have affixes. Your affixes means prefix or suffix. So, inflection is a process of word formation in which words modify themselves to different grammatical categories such as tense, voice, that means active voice or passive voice, person, first person or second person or third person, number, singular number or plural number, and gender, masculine gender or feminine gender. So determinatives or determiners do not change. If they change, they will inflect, and inflection means, inflection is a word formation process in which a word is modified to express different grammatical categories. For example, I am writing a noun pen. It is a singular countable noun. If I am adding s in pen, it becomes pens. This is called inflection. Generally, inflection means in addition to or a small change. So English determiners do not change, and if they are changing, they will change through the processes of compounding. Compounding means process of word formation that creates compound lexemes. Derivation, coining and borrowing, all these four are the various processes of word formation. But such changes are much rarer and take much more time. Such changes are much rarer. They are infrequent in nature. Those type of changes are infrequent in nature and take much more time. Might or might not be inflected, or might have affixes. Affixes means prefix or suffix. For example, I am writing a word happy. If I am adding on before happy, it becomes unhappy. Here on is the prefix. And if I am adding ness after happy, it becomes happiness. So here ness is the suffix. So prefix and suffix, these are the two types of affixes. So determiners come within the domain of a closed lexical category in English. Their number is very small. They contain a small number of words, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and subordinating conjunctions. They are function words in this category. Generally, they do not change, and if they are changing, they will change through various types of word formation process alike: compounding, derivation, coining, and borrowing. Morpheme means smallest meaningful unit in a language, and affix means, affix is a morpheme that is attached to a word stem to form a new word or word form. Affix means prefix and suffix. There are two main functions of English determiners. The first one is referring, and the second one is quantifying. Referring means showing who or what the noun is pointing to or talking about. The most common types of determiners which we use for referring are articles, the, a, an. Possessives, my, your, our, her, etc. And demonstratives, this, that, these, and those. So determiners show what the noun is speaking and whom he is referring. Look at the examples. Where is the newspaper? It is on the sofa. So here both the listener and speaker know about newspaper. The speaker is asking, where is the newspaper? The specific newspaper, about the whereabouts of the newspaper. And the listener is telling, it is on the sofa. Have you seen my MP3 player anywhere? Yes, it is on the table. That means both the speaker and the listener know the MP3 player, or they can share knowledge about it. Do you want this bag, or are you going to put it in that box? So both the listener and speaker can identify, can recognize the bag. So the first principal function of determiner is referring. That means showing who or what the noun is pointing or talking about. In referring, noun talks about something. On the other hand, the noun refers towards something, or the noun points towards something. So the second principal function of English determinative is quantifying. Quantifying means showing how much, or you can say showing how many, or generally it talks about the quantity. So look at the example. There are some letters for you. Do you have enough flour to make a bread? So in these two sentences, the words some and enough refers to an amount or a quantity. Here enough means adequate and sufficient flour to make a bread. So determiners or English determinative in a sentence showing, they generally show or generally quantify the numbers or the gender or the persons in an English sentence. So the two principal functions of determinative are quantifying and referring. So it is the classification of English determinative. Articles, the indefinite articles an and a. The definite article the. Demonstratives this, that, these, those. Possessives mine, your, his, her, our, their. Interrogatives which, what. Relative determiners whichever, whatever, whose, which. Compound determiners somebody, someone, something, somewhere, anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, everybody, everyone, everything, and everywhere. Quantifier much, many, little, few, and their comparative as well as superlative forms. Cardinal numbers 0, 1, 2, etc. Ordinal numbers first, second, third, fourth, and so on. All, both, enough, sufficient, and no. Descriptive each and every, negative no, none, neither, nobody, nothing, and nowhere. Personal determiner you, we, and us. Temporal determiner next and last. Genitive possessive apostrophe and s, and its symbol is like this. Indefinite determiner some and any. The universal indefinite determiner every and each. discuss first about articles. So now we will discuss about articles. There are three types of articles: a, an, and the. A and an are indefinite articles. A and an are called indefinite articles because they do not specify persons, places, or things. That's why the articles an and a are called indefinite articles. They do not specify places, things, or persons. Both an and a mean one. For example, a table, that means one table. A pen, which means one pen. So the meaning of a and an is one. We only use a or an with singular countable noun. We can use an and a before a singular count noun. Article a is used before a noun which begins with a consonant sound. Article an is used before a noun which begins with vowel sounds. So in English alphabet there are 5 vowels and 21 consonants. Here you remember that the usage of a and an is not related to spelling of a word. Usage of a and an is not related to spelling of a word. It is related to the pronunciation. Or sound of the word. The usage of a and an is related to the pronunciation or sound of the word. There are 5 vowels and 21 consonants in English alphabet. So we only use a or an with singular countable noun, and article a is used before a noun which begins with a consonant sound, not consonant spelling. Because spelling is not related to the usage of a and an. Article a is used before a noun. We can say article a is used before a singular countable noun which begins with a consonant sound. Article an is used before a singular countable noun which begins with a vowel sound. Here are some examples. Mark towards these examples. A united, a university, a 1-year-old child, an MA, and an hour. Here the word united begins with U, and U is a vowel, but the word united takes a before it. The reason is maybe the word united begins with the vowel U, but the pronunciation or sound of the word is like this: J-U-N-A-I-T. The pronunciation of the word united will be like this: J-U-N-A-I-T, and J is a consonant. That's why A united. A university. The word university begins with the vowel U, but it takes A. The reason is the university begins the first alphabet letter of the word university is U, which is a vowel. But when we make sound, it will be like this: J-U-N-I-V-V-V-R-C-S-I-T-I. You remember JUNIVVRSITI, university. J is a consonant, so we write a university. Or simply the sound of university is YOO, NI varsity. You can say Y is a consonant, so a university. A 1-year-old child. Here the word one begins with O, and O is a vowel, but it takes A before it. Reason is ONE, one. O is the vowel, but the sound will be like this. WAN, W is a consonant. So before one, we are using A. An MA. Here, M is the consonant, but when we make sound of it, it will be like this. EMEI. Here, E is a vowel. When we will make sound of the word M.A, it will be like this. EMEI. E is the vowel. So we are writing an MA. An hour. Here the word hour begins with English consonant H. For the pronunciation will be like this. AWAR, hour. Here A is the vowel. That's why we are writing an hour. Thus, the usage of A or an is not related to the spelling of the word. It is related to the pronunciation or sound of the word. Look at the examples. A cow is a useful animal. The cow is a useful animal, and cows are useful animals. All the sentences written above have the same meaning, but they are not referring to any particular cow. They are referring to the whole class of cows. A cow is a useful animal. Here cow means the whole class of cows. The cow is a useful animal. Here cow means also the whole class of cows, and cows are useful animals. Here the meaning of cows is the whole class of cows. So all these sentences have the same meaning. They are not referring to any particular cow, but they are referring and indicating the whole class of cows. Thus, the indefinite article A is used here, and the definite article the has been used here, but meaning is same. She drove the car at 50 kilometers an hour. I visit my parents once a week. Here the indefinite articles have been used to refer each, or you can say per. She drove the car at 50 kilometers each hour, or she drove the car at 50 kilometers per hour. I visit my parents once per week, or you may say I visit my parents once each week. So here the indefinite articles have been used to refer each or per. The oranges are of A size. Here A means same. That means all the oranges are same in shape and size. All the oranges are same in shape and size. That's why the indefinite article A is used here in order to indicate that all oranges are same in shape and size. What a beautiful sunset! How horrible a sight! These two sentences are exclamatory sentences, and the indefinite article is used before a singular count noun in exclamatory sentences. What a beautiful sunset! Which means the sunset is very beautiful. The scenario is very beautiful. In exclamatory sentence, because this sentence is an exclamatory sentence, here beautiful is a singular count noun. That's why A has been used. How horrible a sight! It is also an exclamatory sentence, and in this sentence sight is a singular count noun. That's why A has been used before sight. A Mr. Mishra wants to meet you. A Miss Roy directed the play. Here A means certain or some. That means the speaker knows only the surname Mishra. The speaker knows only the surname Roy. That means certain Roy or some Mishra, someone Roy. A Mr. Mishra wants to meet you. That means someone whose surname is Mishra, he does want to meet you. Someone whose surname is Roy directed the play. So here the indefinite article A has been used to indicate certain or some. The speaker knows only the surname of these two persons, but he does not know the specific name of those persons. He does not know the specific name or the proper identification of the persons, but the speaker knows about the surnames of the persons. That means someone whose surname is Mr. Mishra wants to meet you. Someone whose surname is Roy directed the play. Thus, indefinite article A has been used. He thinks he is a Gandhi. Here A means alike. Sometimes we use indefinite article A or an before a noun when it denotes a person who has the same qualities or same potentialities, who has the same qualities or same efficiency of the person named. In this place, we use indefinite article A or an. He thinks he is a Gandhi, which means he is not Mahatma Gandhi, but he is thinking that his works, his efficiency and his qualities, his manner and his instincts are alike Mahatma Gandhi. That means the qualities and the efficiencies and the personality of Mahatma Gandhi he is following, but he is not Mahatma Gandhi. He is thinking that his personality is alike Mahatma Gandhi. In this place, we are using indefinite article A. He is not Mahatma Gandhi, but he is thinking that Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nation, his qualities, his efficiency and his instincts, he is following. He is following Mahatma Gandhi, but he is not Gandhi. So, he is thinking that the reflection of the character of Mahatma Gandhi is occurring in his instincts. That's why in this place we are using the indefinite article A. I have a headache. He had a bad toothache. Here A refers to illness or sick. I have a headache. So, I am suffering from headache. My illness is headache. I am sick because of my headache. So, here we are using indefinite article A. He had a bad toothache. So, he is feeling difficulty in chewing foods. He had a bad toothache. So, he is feeling difficulties in chewing foods. When he is chewing foods, he is feeling difficulty. So, bad toothache is his illness or sickness. So, we are using A before bad toothache. Before illness, we generally use indefinite article A or an. Today, we discuss about the two basic theories to identify determiners or determinative, and we also came to know a little bit about noun phrase and the classifications of English determiners and the uses of indefinite articles a and an. So, in the next class, we will discuss about the definite article the. With this, I am concluding. Thank you. See you once again in the next lecture.